About Young Thug. I fuck with Young Thug. I think he's gonna be iconic. What are your thoughts straight off the bat? So he has an album coming at some point. We have no idea when, but he's dropped a few dope tapes like Slime Season 3. Stop making that face. Have you heard any of his music actually?
I love Young Thug.
Okay, good. So let's Akademiks.
Why y'all got me in this box like I don't fuck with people that don't rap? Wait, no. Why y'all got put me in this box?
Well,
I love Thug.
Well, if you like Thug, you would know about the Uzis and the Cardis to some extent. I mean, Thug is kind of in that
Uzi,
realm.
I'm cool with.
Yeah.
No. Thug is.
He's at the top.
Yeah. So basically, do you guys think that
Yachty?
he's gonna become? No. Let's
the
not get
fuck
into
outta
Yachty right
here.
now. Let's just talk about
You
Thug.
don't like Yachty.
Let's
He
just
gonna
talk
pull out
about
a face.
Thug.
Who Yachty is.
He's gonna do what?
He might pull up and fade you, bro. On site.
Yeah.
You were saying it, Jessica.
So do you guys think that?
So disrespectful. So disrespectful.
Fade you off.
Yeah, I try to hold you down, bro. I try to hold you down.
Yeah.
Yachty,
A Yachty and Joe Budden confrontation would be.
Joe Budden will never have a confrontation with Yachty. It's
So
nothing to confront
back to
Yachty
Young
about.
Thug. You guys think he's gonna become the star that 300 clearly wants him to be? They've been investing in him. What do you feel?
Hey, here's the thing about Young Thug. Young Thug, number one, is clearly a star. Is he a mega star, as I believe when Lira was at 300, he thought he is, or he thought he was? He could be, but I don't know what he's missing. It's like you have something really good, but it's missing some ingredient that you just don't know what the fuck it is. Like, you're like, it's on the tip of your tongue, you don't know. And I don't know if Joe would have much experience in this, because while Joe, in his heyday, he was pretty good. I don't think he had the all-rounded it factor that made him a megastar. Young Thug, he puts out a lot of music, but I would say Young Thug, Travis, they're kind of in the same realm. But Travis sells almost 3 times as much as Thug, even though Thug been dropping quote-unquote mixtapes.
Yeah, it's still how he still hasn't put out an official album.
Exactly, and we just don't, he does a lot of other shenanigans, he wears dresses, he's trying to be provocative.
I love it.
Yeah,
Did you see his last Instagram post? It's like him, I think, getting his hair done, smoking, and the caption's easy, breezy, beautiful thugger girl.
Yeah,
He's the best.
Well, listen, still, the music hasn't really captivated us enough where we say he's future level. His job, and he's been fighting that plight to get from where he's at to where Future is, or surpassing Future. I think Leo believed that. I think he believes that, and also I believe his actions tell me he will change and adapt to however gets him there. Fucking changed his name from Young Thug to Jeffrey because his Leo told him that, hey, you know what, Young Thug doesn't really ring too well for the average consumer. He's like, all right, I'm Jeffrey for an album. Now I'm Thug again. So again, what is that it factor? I don't know what it is. I'm not too sure if they're putting out too much music. He's one of the guys who were notable for putting out too much music. Force feeding,
Right.
well, not really force feeding, but saturating the market.
But Leo Cohen did tell him,
to
bro,
slow
you
it
gotta
down,
chill. You gotta
quality
chill
over
with all
quantity.
these
Leo
songs.
Cohen is a genius. Leo Cohen has modified the music business, right? I want to change this question because I don't like this question. I think Chops has done a horrible job with this question.
Leave Chops
right?
alone.
But I'd like to change it too because you brought up an interesting point. Future is at the top, right? But do we not think that Young Thug is capable of catching him? Future's at the top because he sells a lot more records than Young Thug, right?
Yes, and I would probably say, at least in the last couple of years, he's been putting out better music and better singles. That's very important.
Singles. Okay. This is my problem with the it factor that you speak of. I never had it, so I don't know too much about it. But
that was honest.
yeah, I never had it.
Very self-deprecating. I like it.
But I know that when labels say that someone does not have the it factor, it just means that they don't know what the fuck they are doing with this person. So let's get to Young Thug. Say what you want about how he dresses, it demands attention. It's great. I don't want to hear about how niggas dressed in the 90s.
Wait,
we
it's
love
great?
three
It's
stacks
great or
doing
it's
it.
provocative?
No, it's great.
You like the dress?
I love the dress. That might have been the best album cover last year.
It was incredible.
If you never heard the music, that's still a moment. I'm from the era where album covers were the moment.
I'm glad you're
where
saying this.
the credits
Me
were
too.
the moment. Why?
Because I
don't think a lot of people like the skirts and the dresses.
Yeah,
bro.
especially people
I
from
hate skirts and
old
dresses.
School, I
Okay,
He
guess.
also admitted that he cross dresses. That's great.
Well, I'm not into cross-dressing.
He's pushing the boundaries right now.
But what I'm saying is this: if it's
From an artist's perspective,
if it's him. For a long time, he did a lot of metrosexual things that I did not understand. I don't have to understand everything. He's being true to self, I assume. Nothing I have seen from Young Thug says that he's not being true to self. I like all the beefs. I do. I mean, if I'm being honest, I like.
You like all beefs.
I like all of his beefs because he never backed down from the beef. If it's game, fuck you, game, suck my dick. Let's get some OGs to fix it. Whoever it is, he's with the shits. The dressing, I had to get used to, but I like it for him. I would not wear any of that lavender shit. The music is all there. His own fan base, he's cultivated himself. So now when you start telling me about his singles, when you start telling me about how his albums perform, see all of this stuff that you and your people love to get into, that's all label stuff. I'm not putting any of that on Thug. Why am I putting the fact that Young Thug can't sell records on Thug? Every time I see Kanye or one of these high fucking level fashion shows, Thug is there. Anytime I'm seeing him where he needs to be. I'm seeing the people that he needs to be in touch with him. I'm seeing him relevant. I'm seeing him active. And that Jeffrey album was fucking amazing. So if something is wrong with Thug, and Thug don't have that it factor, then I want whoever the fuck is running 300 to tell me how he gets it. And let me ask one more question, Desk. I don't care what Lyric is talking about. Fuck Lyric. Listen to this. Not fuck you, Lyric. I love you. Who else on 300 has sold records with the exception of Fetty Wap, who had 5 hits in 1 year? That is to prove my point. Who else has sold records at 300? So if you're telling me that Thugger doesn't have it because he's not selling, well, what's Migos' problem? Because I think them niggas are superstars. And they ain't selling either. Let's deal with
Thug.
This time. What is Thug
selling?
How many projects did they have to fucking put out?
What is Thug selling, guys? What is he selling?
Not as much as he should.
Thug is selling 60,000 on average, and then Migos came out with 120 out the gate.
For the first time.
But what are you counting? What project sales?
I'm counting all of Thug's like mixtapes and then Culture, because previously Migos was flopping. Then they came out Culture, another level.
What did Jeffrey sell?
Jeffrey did around 60 something.
See, I think that's
I believe.
I think that's up.
Yeah, no, he is going up.
That is up. So as long as he's spiraling up.
I don't know if as fast as the label will want him to though.
They the niggas fucking it up.
Well, all right. So how about you play the person that's gonna fix the label then?
All right. Let's do it.
Because, and I'm gonna introduce this problem. I think a lot of people have pointed out that this is one of the problems with Thug. When Thug came in the game, he was mini Lil Wayne. He kind of was in his image and then he kind of separated, but he generated a lot of backlash and hate from people who liked Wayne, right? And a lot of people
And Wayne was really hot at the time.
Exactly. And a lot of his actions turned off a lot of people, including some like dressing like a bad bitch or like he's having memories of a geisha, right? So based on that, the label is trying to also, yeah, that's you, but we're trying to fix his public image, right? In a sense. That's why they go to Jeffrey instead of Young Thug. And they're trying to blow him up on a bigger scale than where he's at now. His fan base is constantly growing. He's a star. But how do you handle him to make him a superstar?
I don't know, because for all Kevin Liles has done for my career, he's done a lot to hurt that shit too. So what I will say is I don't have the answers to that. I don't work at a label. I work for Complex. However, if they paid me to fix Young Thug, I might be able to do it. Because he's bringing everything, he's doing everything you need him to do. When labels are looking at artists, normally they're looking for the artist to be as culpable as possible, so as less risk is on them as it could be.
Let me ask you another question.
Wait, before you ask me, tell me what Young Thug is not doing.
See, I can't tell you.
Me neither.
I can't tell you.
Me neither.
I would probably condemn some of his past actions, but now I think he's moving great.
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you the question about 300, right? Because you're completely right. 300 really hasn't taken anyone out. I guess we could credit them with Migos and Fetty, but Fetty came there with
I could say that they finished Fetty Wap, and we'll never hear a hit from him again because they milked him in 1 year. But I'm not going to say that because Fetty Wap is from New Jersey, and I love Fetty Wap, and I hope that he wins, and I'm from New Jersey. I want him to win. But I do feel like 300 fucked him up. I do feel like 300 could be doing more to make Young Thug to put Young Thug where Future is. I always feel like the label can do more for the artist. The artist has to be vocal and verbalize it.
Yo, you're clearly not a big fan of too many labels, but put Young Thug on the
I
label.
hate all the labels, I think that all the artists should be independent and never relinquish their rights for nothing. If you're gonna relinquish your rights, then do it for something. So Young Thug, who's doing everything, and he can do everything on his fucking own and have iTunes distribute his shit. If the label's not doing anything for me, then why am I here?
You're right, but if you could put him on another label and see different results, where would it be?
Atlantic.
You think
I put him on Atlantic. I would put him on Atlantic.
Atlantic makes him a star. You believe?
100%
Or
Julie
superstar.
and Kaiser and all of them Atlantic people are going to make him a fucking star. You fucking right. Well, Julie and Kaiser, those are Kevin Loud's people. So everybody at Atlantic is old Def Jam. Remember?
Right.
So let's be clear. If Young Thug was on Atlantic, I think they would do a better job.
All right, so you guys agree that he's a superstar in the making. It's just something
Thug is
missing.
great.
I just think it's an album.
Thug
He
is
just needed
awesome.
An official album and a strong roll-up plan. He
listen.
has it.
After seeing this man just really jostle up and down your penis, give this man a verse, okay? But I do fuck with
See, I know what the shock is.
Would you come out of retirement for Young Thug verse?
No.
You know you
sure?
want
I
that
don't know
Thug
if he is-
feature?
That would be a mistake. If you could figure it out.
you
Thug floats over beats, man.
Listen to Thug is great. Thug is great. But what
You
I'm
done
saying
good
is,
with Wayne. Thug.
I think Wayne,
Has some of those similarities.
style-wise, is open to a little more than Thug is. I'm not sure that my fan base wants to hear whatever him and I would produce, so I wouldn't do it.
That's
I'm like
fair
a
enough.
real rapper, and he's different. So you don't want to compromise the integrity of the music, so I wouldn't do that, but I'm a huge fan of Young Thug.
Word. Star.